Hello students, today we are going to talk about Paja Toquilla hats. But first I need that all of you watch the following video.
G'day, today we're looking at the Panama Monte Cristi. Now this is made in a town in the northern Andes in Ecuador where they make all the Panama hats. This particular hat is between a 2 and 4 month make, so the weave is very fine. We call it super fino. You'll find that the weave count is anywhere between 17 and 21 weaves per inch. Now, a lot of people have disparity onto how they measure it, and is it the upward side or is it the side, horizontal or vertical. Generally we don't get too caught up in the fine details of how fine the grade is, but we really class it in a general class, and this general class is super fine. So the difference that you'll find with this is very soft, it's malleable, very recoverable, and a classic shape. I think you'll find it a very classic smooth hat, very fine, very lightweight. It should last you a very long time if you keep it moist. Monte Cristis don't like to be dried out, left in a car, because they do become crunchy and crispy, and that will lead to a failure in the hat. But if you keep it moist in a wetter environment, either steam it or put it near a kettle if you are in a dry place, you'll find that this hat will last probably as long as you. Hope this has been helpful. See you next time.
Okay, then you need to answer the following questions. The first question is, how do you know about the Panama hats? In this case, you need to use their own words. The next answer is only an example. About my opinion. According to this video and other videos, there are fino and super fino Panama hats. Depending on the time spent, the number of weave per inch, those should be between 17 and 21, and their fine details. In some cases, those hats are worth up to $1,000 or more. The second question is there any technology involved to produce Panama hats? For me, no, there isn't, because people who create those hats take the Paja Toquilla straw from the soil, then cook and dry them. Finally, they weave the Toquilla straws to create the Panama hats using their hands. The third question, do you think that the history of Panama hats started in Panama and then it was produced in Ecuador? No, I don't, and the next history explains that. The last question, do you think the production of Panama hats contributes to the growth of a community's economy? For me, yes, I do. Now we have the history of Paja Toquilla hats. Pay attention to this history because the last activity for this class, you need to answer or you need to complete the sentences. It is said that back in 1835, people in Monte Cristi, Manabí, sent boxes of hats to Manta and Guayaquil to be exported to Panama. The time coincided with a California gold rush, 1848-1855, which made the hats famous because of the abundant sand of the west coast of the United States. As you can see in the picture, those people are wearing this kind of hats. They became so popular in the ports of Panama that the name was quickly linked to that location. During the construction of the Panama Canal, Theodore Roosevelt, who was the president of United States at that time, wore those kind of hats and contributed to their increasing popularity. It is said that many passengers who were passing through the canal also made the hats famous. They become really valued around the world. Edward VII, he was the king of England, ordered a hat for himself and paid a lot of money for it. In 1985, the hat was selected as one of the 100 best designs ever by the Conrad Foundation in England. Also in 2017, the UNESCO declared Paja Toquilla hats as part of the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. As you can see, only 4 years ago, the UNESCO used the correct number of these hats, in these cases Paja Toquilla hats, instead of Panama hats. And the last activity for this class is to complete the sentences or the blanks using the phrases above. Paja Toquilla hats are called Panama hats. Theodore Roosevelt wore those kind of hats during the construction of Panama Canal. Edward VII of England ordered a hat for himself and paid a lot of money. In 1985, the hat was chosen as one of the best designs by the Conrad Foundation. The UNESCO declared the hats as part of the intangible cultural heritage. Okay, thank you so much for your participation. Try to answer the first questions by their own words. And see you the next class.